Hi everyone and welcome to SUNY Optometry's online admissions camp. Today we're going to be sharing some valuable tips in how to build a powerful application, so stay tuned. In this series we're going to talk about the entire application process, from filling out a very competitive application to doing really well during the interview. An application, a good application, an application that stands out, is actually a piece of art. You really have to spend a lot of time, energy, and focus on it so that you create that final product that will make a difference and will give you that seat that you so much want. Usually when I talk about building a competitive application, I use the analogy of a cow that was actually developed by this marketer called Seth Godin. What Seth Godin says is that in a very competitive market, a market that's very busy, what you need to do is to create a differentiation strategy. And I like to think that the world of admissions is a very competitive world. You have a lot of applicants for very few seats. And in a differentiation strategy, what Seth Godin asks you is this: have you seen a cow before? And most people will say, yeah, I have seen a cow before. Fine. What was your reaction when you saw a cow for the first time? Most people will say, oh, I got all excited, a cow is big, it's cool, it smells interesting, what have you. Try to remember when you saw a cow for the first time. Then the question is, what happens when you see a cow for the second and third and fourth time? Most of the time, a cow is just a cow. There is nothing really cool and exciting about it anymore. The same is true in the application process. The first time I read the first essay for optometry school, I was really excited about all those ideas that the students were putting into the essay. But after I have read the 1,000th essay of my life, of my career, they all sound and look the same. So Seth Godin's strategy is, how do you differentiate yourself in a very competitive market? And what he says is, you have to create something different. You have to create a purple cow. Let's imagine that you are driving down the road and you all of a sudden see a purple cow. What would be your reaction? You would probably stop, you would get out, you would take pictures, you would Facebook it, YouTube it, Instagram it, because purple cows are cool. They are interesting, they are worth talking about, they are different from everybody else and they deserve our attention. So the purpose of today and of the series is to give you the tips that you need in order to build that application that stands out. The first point I would like to make as we frame this conversation around how to build a successful application is the fact that the world is socially constructed. And what do I mean by that? As we interact with each other, there are certain norms and rules and standards that emerge out of our relationships. And how does that relate to the world of admissions? Think of it as a game. In a game, you have different players, you have competitors, if you will, that are all seeking the same goal. In the case of admissions, you're trying to seek admissions into your program of choice. You also have referees, for example, establishing the rules and making sure you're following the rules and are assigning you points. And this is the case of the admissions committee, for example, that will be reviewing your file and seeing if you meet certain criteria. So in order for you to play the game and play the game to win, you have to know what are the standards, what are the rules, what is being expected of you to do well in that particular game. And one important point I would like to make is that as you are trying to play the game to the best of your ability, it's not about you anymore. It's not about what you want, it's not about your desires, it's not about what you like and what you dislike. It's about what the game is requiring of you. It's demanding of you. It's about you meeting the standards that every other player has to meet in order to be given that seat that you so much want. The way we like to talk about it in admissions is that from now on, what is really going to define your success is how good of a fit you are for the environment that you are in. And the environment, as you know, it's a very competitive environment. You have a lot of students with a lot of good credentials, and those are going to be the ones that you're going to be competing against. So let's get ready to play the game to win.